A Business Problem Guide. Chapter 1. Business Problems. Business Problems 1. Do it right the first time, otherwise you'll have to do it again. Fixing problems is one thing, but the biggest problem is getting over your arrogance and short-sightedness enough to be able to see the big picture clearly and recognize what your problems and potential problems are. Granted, there are business problems and catastrophes that happen that are beyond a business's control, such as a hurricane destroying the pineapple crop for a pineapple juice company or computer word processing software making typewriters obsolete, but most business problems and failures are caused by the people who run a company. Some problems start when a bunch of little mistakes or careless oversights add up. Some are the result of a big boondoggle. Just be aware that most are caused by people rather than the conditions of the economy. Even when there is an economic downturn, savvy entrepreneurs adjust and reinvent themselves to be more conducive with the changing times. The solution is often staring you right in the face, but you're too arrogant or lazy to see. Hindsight is 20/20, but if you go back and analyze just about every business failure ever, you will see that the signs were all there, but nobody bothered to confront them to run a tighter ship. It's the old nip it in the bud philosophy. Go around solving all your little problems now so you avoid them ganging up on you and overwhelming you. This is the secret to solving business problems before they destroy you. You have to build a business with safeguards in the system to keep everything above board, both in the paperwork, have someone double checking what your accountant does if need be, and in the plant itself. Have a checklist of what employees must do every day. Have standards of cleanliness that must be enforced stringently. Do the same for safety rules. Harry Chapin, the late folk singer, sang a song called Dance Band on the Titanic, which was about perception, delusion, and context, three of the biggest, underreported causes of all business failure. The band played on oblivious that the ship was sinking. They say Nero played his harp while Rome burned. Louis XVI's wife said, "Let them eat cake," just before she got her head cut off in the French Revolution. The point is that all these people were living in some kind of denial or delusion while everything around them was going to hell. The signs were all there, but they refused to see them and do something about it. This is where you'll be different. When you see irregularities in any area of your business, don't let it slide. Investigate, get to the heart of the problem, then fix it one way or another. It may mean you will have to overhaul your business. Suppose you run a chicken farm and the government comes in and says, for the safety of the people, we have to kill all the chickens and not allow them to be sold for the next 3 years. What do? You have your farm infrastructure in place. You might decide to raise pet birds, raise another animal like fish, dogs, chinchillas, pigs, cows, alpacas, etc. You might decide to grow expensive herbs like ginseng and mushrooms, or you might go in the yogurt business. Either way, you've got a problem and you have to deal with it head on. If you don't, you will just be sowing the seeds of your own destruction. Every business leader has mistakes and failures. It's not about your mistakes and failures. It's about how you deal with them. Listen to the pulse of what is happening around you. Listen to your partners and managers. Go around and talk to the workers in the trenches. Ask them if they were running the company, what kind of changes would they do? When these people tell you something, don't just let it go in one ear and out the other. Think about it, then act on it. They're your proverbial canary in the coal mine. They want you to succeed because they want to keep their jobs. They're on your side. Virtually all business disasters are not the result of one big cataclysmic event. They are the result of small mistakes that go uncorrected while everybody lives in delusion until they hit critical mass, then all hell breaks loose. It's all about the corporate culture and the system you put in place. You have to run a tight ship. Tell your workers not to fudge the books or scrimp on safety. It's the only way to avoid costly problems. Don't be so greedy that all you care about is the bottom line at the expense of everything else. Run the company as a whole for the long run. All the greedy bastards from the corporate scandals of the late 1990s didn't care about their companies. They were just interested in plundering them for their own interests. This is a bad attitude and will sow the seeds of your destruction if you adopt it. Don't be caught with your pants down, meaning don't ignore the new technology in your industry, because if you do, at some point in time, you will be left behind. Live in the real world. Refuse to live in delusions. Extract the facts, not just what you want to see. If you're in a dangerous business such as flying airplanes, policing the streets, fighting fires, or launching the space shuttle, train for every possible thing that could go wrong. You need a corporate culture of happy, conscientious workers. Pay them well. Make them believe that safety procedures are important. Whenever you have aggressive people running the business or the accounting department, put a watchdog on them from within the company to report back to you if they overstep their legal and ethical boundaries. If anything happens too fast, slow down, think about it before you plunge in. Don't listen to cultural delusion. When everybody was going nuts over the internet boom, there were Zen types and old-timers smiling to themselves because they had seen it all before and knew what goes up must come down. The second you get arrogant and think you're untouchable is the second someone quietly working in a back room somewhere will start to topple you with a better idea. See the writing on the wall. Feel the zeitgeist of society and adjust with the way it's going. Learn from your own mistakes and from what competitors do. Expanding too rapidly could be bad for business. Remember, people are behind most mistakes and problems. All companies that screw up but get on the ball, admit it right away and try to fix the problem usually make out okay, but the ones that try to hide it are the ones who the customers abandon. It's a matter of trust. Tylenol and Intel survived their big debacles by going public with their problem and promptly fixing it. When your customers talk, listen to what they tell you. It's all about cash flow. No matter how great you are, if you can't pay your bills, they'll come after you and force you under. Business success is basic. Be good to your customers and workers. Business problems too. The problem is not the problem. The problem is your reaction to the problem. Dun & Bradstreet, DNB.com, once tracked business failures in order to document the reasons why they fail, but they stopped doing it after they came to the realization that most businesses fail for the same few reasons, which are bad management, failure to respond to change, selling products that may be fun and entertaining but not necessary to the person's survival. The major business problems are as follows. Self-delusion and pride, the king and queen of business problems. You weren't cut out to be a business person in the first place. It takes a certain personality. Some people are better suited to working a job or living as artists. You choose a business you don't really like or one that doesn't have a good chance of success right from the get-go because there's very little demand for the product or service. You're naive or stupid. You think that customers will magically come to you, that you will automatically succeed. Make no mistake about it, owning any business is hard work. You didn't get a good business plan and vision down on paper, so you don't really know what your mission is and how you will achieve it. You listen to the hype of others. You don't do sound research before you leap. You locate too close to a powerful competitor. Do some research before you pick a location. People don't read their contracts or the fine print of them, then when the other side calls them on a point, they are stunned. Know what's in contracts you sign. Haggle then to reach an agreement rather than ignore it and hope everything will be alright. If you're a loner, don't get a partner. Business owners generally don't determine who their target market is and target advertising and publicity at that demographic group. Poor advertising that doesn't elicit results. Poor store in general, bad layout, the clerk has a nasty attitude, dirty, poorly lit, poor products, in a bad part of town, no parking, etc. You sell products the customer isn't interested in. You use high-pressure sales tactics as opposed to trying to help the customer. The customers want the products you're selling, but yours are of poor quality. Your prices are so high that nobody buys, or your prices are so low that you don't make money. Spending money foolishly. You let a bookkeeper run your business rather than you keeping a tight fist over all of it. Poor inventory control. Too many suppliers, not enough suppliers, inconsistent suppliers. The owner has a big ego and does stupid things. Expanding too much, too fast. Poor customer service. Customers don't know you exist or that you offer better deals and service than your competition. Poor cash flow problems. Competition which is higher profile than you. Don't change with the changing times. You don't know much about the technical aspects of your product and draw a blank when customers need help. Inexperience. Naive fantasies that you will succeed without planning and evaluating. Poor sales based on poor salesmanship. Poor sales based on poor products or products and services with a low demand. Depression, mental illness. You rely on one or two major customers, suppliers, lenders, etc., followed by having only a few products that could become obsolete. If your major customers' businesses fail, you're screwed. Not enough cash on hand to pay bills and do what needs to be done day by day. Accounts receivable. You have to run a tight ship. Offer a discount if paid within 30 days, penalties after. Don't keep giving a guy credit hoping he will pay. He will probably end up bailing. Don't limit the relevant company information. Have a central location where all relevant information is, a bulletin board, a book which houses new memos, etc., and a website. Bad employees, poor workers, and thieves. Actions by creditors for personal guarantees you signed or collateral security you pledged. Lawsuits by creditors, investors, clients, customers, employees, or government departments. Competition enters your market area, thereby eroding market share. Poor location. Don't advertise enough. No one knows you exist. Not serious or business-like enough. Can't analyze their business objectively, harshly. Don't have a definite direction you're going in. Lack of commitment. Letting people interrupt your work. Working all the time. Poor marketing and advertising. Change of loan officer at the bank resulting in a personality conflict with new loan officer. Lender interest rates increase, there is a reassessment of your business risk. Lender calls in or reduces the line of credit or calls the demand loan. Building and general area deteriorating and becoming unattractive. Landlord increases the rent dramatically on renewal. Problem employees. No defined business plan. Not understanding your customers and marketing appropriately to them. Trying to do everything on your own. Not building rapport with your employees. Not using the computer to help you as much as it could. Let disorder thrive. Not organized. Not listening to your intuition. Theft from employees, shoplifting. You miss loan payments. Creditors get mad. Management problems, infighting. New technologies making your business near obsolete. Running out of money before fulfilling contracts. Wrongful dismissal lawsuit by employee. Location problems with office building. Mall vendors leave resulting in reduced customer traffic. Lack of diversity in the management team. When only a few people control the power, they become elitist and dinosaur-like. You need fresh new talent in there all the time. Collection problems with major customers. Sued by client or customer for breach of contract or product liability. Insurance company denies claim for loss. Investors not happy. Marital or business partnership problems. Failure to adopt new technology when it's created, thus making yourself behind the times, a dinosaur. Customer claiming negligence or misrepresentation. Accident at work. Claims for infringement of trademark or other rights of another business. Fines by workers' compensation for workplace injuries or non-compliance. Fines by municipal, provincial, or federal government for non-compliance with regulations. You don't pay rent. The landlord threatens to lock you out. When management is under stress, workers feel it and get insecure and depressed. Keep things out in the open and try to avoid crises by not taking unnecessary risks. Business problems 3. Whenever there's turbulence in the business, cut out of the situation and meditate on it for a while. Ask yourself, what's really the problem? Figure it out, then solve it. Once you know the exact problem, you're at least halfway to the solution. Your biggest problem is always money, whether you make enough to pay bills before the landlord throws you out or your workers walk off, or whether your creditors get tired of you and decide to call the loan in to get what they can before they see you as going under. Don't forget the government suddenly sending you a tax bill out of the blue. Don't live in a fantasy world and expect to make big money with one product. In the real world, there are few grand slam products. Offer a line of related products or services. Sell related products and services. Stick with what you do, sell things like it, but don't branch off into unrelated products. Customers must not lose sight of who you are. Don't underestimate marketing and advertising. Marketing, or the lack of it, make or break a business. When you market, do it wisely. Stress the benefits of your products or services. Tell your customers how you can help them, not just once but over and over again. McDonald's never ever stops advertising even though it has a huge market share. Find marketing methods that you can afford to use repeatedly without going bust. Do your research beforehand. Don't try to sell snow to Eskimos. If no market exists for your great products, you're screwed. Don't be too optimistic and naive. Even if you believe you have a great product, make a few prototypes and get a few focus groups to check them out. Revise and update your products to inject new life into them. Price your products high enough to earn a profit. New entrepreneurs are often wary about pricing their products too high. If they're good and you offer good service, you will get business. If you don't offer quality products, customers will bring stuff back and stop buying. You will choke on your own ineptness. Don't look back and mourn over mistakes. Look to the future. Don't chew out other people to mask your own mistakes. Don't make promises you can't keep. Don't make excuses when you screw up. Don't be a bag of hot air. Don't be indifferent and slow to customer/employee/business partner requests. Don't discuss your shortcomings in front of others as a rationale for why you're screwing up. Don't interrogate or argue. Deliver what you promise. Don't promise what you can't deliver. When there are deadlines, meet them. The quickest way to alienate people is to miss deadlines. Define what your clients want and give it to them in a timely manner with no subsidiary bullshit involved. Improve customer satisfaction rather than take them for granted. If it doesn't make sense to you, it probably doesn't make sense. If a deal sounds too good to be true, watch your back, especially if you're paying by cash. It could be a scam to rob you. All you have is your reputation. Don't lose it. If plan A worked once, it doesn't necessarily mean it will work again. When things are good, save your money. Your fortunes will change. Don't let a fortune change you. If something or someone doesn't work, don't hang on. Get rid of it or the person. If you're losing money, fix it or get out. Don't entrust the business to a few people. What happens if they leave or die? Too much power corrupts. With too much trust, some people will scheme for ways to rip you off. Don't give anyone responsibility until they've earned it. Try #658.022 or HQ784 at the library for books about how to deal with business problems. Business problems 4. No problem can stand the assault of sustained thinking. Voltaire. We cannot solve our problems with the same level of thinking that we used when we created them. Albert Einstein. Everything that we do in life is problem solving. When you create something for the first time, try to do it to minimize future problems by thinking it through and getting others to suggest how it should be done. Learn about your field to see how others do it. Read business books. Solve problems people have. Do it right away. Don't wait or you miss the chance. If you stall, a problem could swell into a catastrophe. Solve complaints about your business or job right away. First think about solving the problem. Pick the best solution, then do not waste time in getting it done. Do it quickly. Don't waste time on paperwork, assembling a team of so-called experts. Get on it immediately. Use creative, critical thinking if necessary to solve the problem. Get past the normal, routine ways of dealing with it. While solving a problem, think up a way to possibly do it better. Look up new technology in that area to see what is the latest tech stuff out there. The goal is to detect problems at the point of origin. Workers are generally timid. Create a company culture where they feel good about talking to management about problems, future problems, new ideas, solutions, answers, opportunities. Encourage skilled, purposeful questioning. Encourage team thinking and discussion. Consider probabilities and consequences for your usual operations. This is disaster planning. You have thought it through before it ever happens and written out a hypothetical plan. There is a balance between safety and profits. Weigh the possible gains against the projected costs. In the end, spending a few bucks might save your company when you're talking about lawsuits. Your best defenses against business problems are proper planning, making the business as safe as possible, getting enough insurance to be covered if something happens, either a disaster or a lawsuit. When you have a problem, you have 3 ways to deal with it: get rid of it, live with it, find ways to minimize it. Gather all the information and facts you can about the situation. Analyze it based on logic. Come to a rational conclusion, then make a decision on how you will act and do it. Most problems can be nipped in the bud, so to speak, if you practice good business habits and take a proactive view to stop business problems before they start. When you see warning signs, don't ignore them. Get on them right away. Plan everything. Have contingency plans for problems you can expect to happen. When a certain problem happens, have it all planned out in advance so you'll be ready. Don't be a Pollyanna. Live in the real world. If you see the boom lowering, don't just think positive. Get to the bottom of it. When something happens, don't let it ride. Get on it right away. Tell your employees what's going on. Proactive management means to identify your weak areas and develop plans to deal with them. Ask your employees for advice. Ask them what would they do if they were running the business, what problem areas do they foresee. A crisis could be a company's defining moment. It could either make you or break you. Do a risk assessment of your company, a kind of self-audit for company well-being, by writing down all potential trouble spots in your company and how you would deal with them should they happen. Your best litmus test for how the company is doing is to listen to both insiders, company employees, and outsiders, customers. There is occasionally a chronic complainer in the bunch, but if you get several people independently grumbling about the same thing, you've got a problem. Solve it. Don't be pessimistic or optimistic. Be logical. Identify the problem, then do what has to be done. The major categories of potential business problems are: company vision, is there one? Contingency plans for certain, high-risk business problems. Location of business, do customers come? Can you get out of a business lease if the facility sucks or if there are no customers at your mall? Adequate insurance. Decent business partners. Accountants and lawyers who are straight with you. The structure of the building. Computer security. Building security. Finances. Tax payments. Sales, are sales solid, expanding? Price, is the price good for the customer and good for the business? Advertising stupidity, wasting money, and producing ineffective ads. Fire safety equipment. Safety standards. Security from break-ins. Employee theft. Hostile takeover situation. Quality of products. Safety of products. Tampering or sabotage of products. Employees, Employee rules of conduct. Discrimination, sexual harassment. Suppliers, several suppliers rather than just one. Can you get new products quickly when you need them? Customer service. Natural disasters. Environmental regulations. Proper training for equipment and vehicles. Legal counsel, legal knowledge of relevant issues. List of people to contact in emergency situations. Study what makes other companies successful. Study your competition. Constantly learn what you can to better your business. Watch your money. That's always the bottom line. Do you have computer backup for your file, i.e., a website or extra hard drive where all your files are copied to at the end of every day? Is your business as streamlined and simple as possible? Do your employees know so much that they could skip and take your business secrets with them? Make them sign confidentiality agreements. Be good to your workers. Do you know where they are at all hours of the day? Are they safe in the workplace? Do you train them according to government standards? Eliminate waste as much as you can. Don't be too narrow in scope. Expand your product line and customer base. Don't be too hasty hiring workers. Check them out to pick the best one. Follow the laws when firing employees. Solve business problems. In a word, you have to always be a crisis or turnaround manager by being proactive and thinking it, because business is full of problems day after day, some big, some small. You solve business problems firstly by being aware of your business and aware of what's going on in the world, such that when you see an irregularity or a change in customer habits, you can analyze it quickly and adapt. It's kinda like keeping one step ahead of any possible problem, which is not always possible because nobody has a crystal ball and can foresee the future exactly as it will unfold. Any business can go bad on one bad thing and it could be beyond your control. Your biggest contract pulls out. Somebody files a frivolous lawsuit which gives you bad publicity. A new product replaces your competition heats up. The best way to deal with it is to try to foresee it and disaster-proof your company by making it diverse enough to handle situations. Constantly analyze your business and think of ways to improve it. When the company is in trouble, look at yourself and analyze whether it could be you. There are shortcuts in business. Some are good. Some are the immediate path to ruin. If the right way is the hard way, you have no choice. Know where the company is going, or at least wants to go. Hire good people to run the firm. Keep a top inner staff. Don't let the bureaucracy get too big. Do all your important stuff in small meetings with the inner staff. Do not let them become elitists shielded from the plebeians. Keep it simple. Don't overanalyze it. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. Always look for ways to cut costs. Sometimes outsourcing is simpler than using an in-house staff for certain tasks. Focus on what you do. Don't diversify too much. Don't get so caught up in the little things that you lose focus of the major vision. Run the company as though you're answering to shareholders, even if it's a private company. People work best if you give them the best incentive, part ownership in the company. Reward stellar individuals with promotions and money. Give them the freedom to use their ideas and, most importantly, to suggest things that may be contrary to what the boss says. Business is business, not a popularity contest. If you have to make tough decisions, don't stall. Do it. The workers will always criticize the boss. It's par for the course. Do what's right, not what's status quo. If you have to lay people off, tell them in advance what's going on. The more you know about your business and the state of the world, the better you'll be able to anticipate possible problems and deal with them before they happen. The better the team of trusted people you surround yourself with, the more likely you will shield yourself from problems. Before you even pick a business to go into, do some research to determine its volatility. All the good intentions in the world will not help a crappy business product line. Trust your gut/intuition. Go into a business only if you think it will be a winner. Before you go into it, analyze it to try to figure out all its possible problems. This is called a risk assessment. Then analyze the probability of success. Don't be too conservative. There is risk in everything, even starting a business. Once you commit, work hard and be thorough, at least until you start earning a profit. The major rules for success are: have a clear idea of where you want to go with the business. Be good to employees and customers. Use whatever new technology there is out there that can help you. When you're down and out, as you probably will be at some point in your business career, don't get depressed and fold right away. Ride out the storm. Stay as calm as you can. Buy time. Fight. Pay your lawyers enough so they stick with you to the bitter end of whatever you're into. If there's room for negotiation and a possible deal, do it. By the same token, if you see an opportunity, go for it. Have the guts to leave a sinking ship if you must. It's better than sinking with it. If a business has problems, the most basic things to do are as follows. Identify the problem clearly. Try to plot out the best course of action, either restructuring, bankruptcy, or selling the business. Reduce costs every way you can think of without sacrificing quality or employee morale too much. Go really cheap if that's what it takes to save the business. Try to collect on debts. Move to a cheaper location if you must. Scale down, reduce operations if it will help. Keep a good public image regardless of the turbulence in the company. Quite often, the problem is not a nuts and bolts problem but a people problem. Be wary of who you trust. There are wolves in sheep's clothing everywhere. Always keep a close eye on the money and the people handling it. Do the same with your merchandise. Put some surveillance cameras up if you think it will help. If you have a crook in your midst, fire him immediately, then gather some evidence to press criminal and civil charges. Survival is better than failure. Eat crow if you must. Go modest in order to save the business. If you do this, you could ride out the storm, then go big again when the time is right. Try to get some opinions about what to do from trusted associates. Talk to your suppliers and creditors. Ask them for a break now that you're going through hard times. If worse comes to worse, either shut down temporarily until you restructure or shut down, get what money you can out of the business, then move on to the next thing. Increase security to minimize employee and customer theft if applicable. If you have a big building, try renting some of it out for office space, storage, another retail store, etc. Tell your employees they have to take a pay cut or reduction in benefits if they want you to stay in business, but do it in a civil manner, with respect for them. Run a part-time shift as opposed to a full-time one. Terminate some employees. Possibly hire a turnaround consultant. If the problem is legal, hire a good lawyer. Don't try to solve it yourself even if you are innocent. Control your ego. Nobody is that great or fallible. Don't make excuses or blame the other guy. Don't quit. If things don't work out, just move in another direction. Recruit board members from your largest private shareholders. Learn from other people's business failures. Lots of businesses fail. The biggest reason is cash flow. You don't have enough cash to pay your bills. Another big one is ego. Simplyfailed.com, share mistakes and learn from them. Business problems websites. There are some books about business problems at hashtag 658.4 or HD 55-62 at the library. There are books about corporate turnaround at hashtag 658.4063 or HD 58 at the library. GlobalDisastRmanagement.com. acucorp.com/solutions. alex-wolf.com, business problem specialist. allbusiness.com. fuckedcompany.com. horizonadvisors.com, assists companies and their stockholders with operational and financial problems. cynicalbastards.com. answers-for-business.com. bizmove.com. biztroubleshooter.com. boxesandArrows.com/view/paradigm_dissonance_significant_factor_and_business_problems. bpinews.com/hs/pages/epn 800-274-6737. businesscoachingexecutive.com/business_problems.html. businessproblemsolutions.com. corporatewargaming.com. crisisexperts.com. detroitchamber.com/detroiters/articles.asp?103 $det Small business, the basics of business problem solving. doersloan.com, consultant. directadvice.co.uk. elance.com, find business consulting companies to help you. Emergency preparedness news. entrepreneur.com. farisec.com/fic/n/business-needs, business intelligence software for business needs and problems. familybusinessconsulting.com. familybusinessvalues.com. fema.gov/library/bizindex, possible disasters. freesalesarticles.com/article_business_problems.html. gfsbusiness.com, global financial services looks at your business financial health from an overall perspective. globaladvisors.net, providing practical solutions to difficult management problems. hyperion.com/solutions/federal_division/common_problems.cfm. ideafirm.com. kiko.com/kikogym/business-strategy. laurastevens.net/business.html, business problem solving. ldb.co.uk/solutions.htm. mapnp.org/library/crisis/crisis. mmbusiness-advisor.com/family_business_problems.htm. nfib.com, National Federation of Independent Business. nfib.com/object/io_16191.html, small business problems and priorities. osha.gov, safety. palimpsest.stanford.edu/bioth/ckch/allhertz, crisis management planning. performancing.com. provenmatters.com, helping business managers apply technology to solve business problems and seize business opportunities. rothstein.com/features, disaster recovery. sba.gov, booklet financial difficulties of small businesses and reasons for their failure. sbaonline.sba.gov/disaster, loans for businesses who have had a disaster. co-hotline.com/3-problems-business-bloggers-face. smallbusinesscomputing.com. smartbiz.com. sonic.net/lwturn. stl-systems.co.uk, business problems solved by STL. strategy-business.com. taharni.com, consultant. technoworthy.com/tag/business+problems. turnaroundcentral.com. winning-newsmedia.com/crisis. disaster recovery journal. POG 510110. St. Louis, Missouri 63151. 314-894-0276. Fax 314-894-7474. Business failure websites. 1000ventures.com/business_guide/crosscutting/failure_managing.html. manyworlds.com/exploreco.aspx. acsac.org/2003/papers/classic-spafford.pdf, a failure to learn from the past. bizcommunity.com. business.com/directory/management/strategic_planning. businessknowhow.com/startup/business-failure.htm. Gabler.com/y-businesses-fail.htm Marketa.com/work_and_business/y-businesses-fail.html businesspundit.com/how-can-companies-learn-from-failure consultantjournal.com/blog/y-businesses-fail entrepreneur.com/trade journal/article/7318346.html sam.dk/elective/mike/company_failure.doc ezinarticles.com why small business fail forecastmetrics.com/newsletter103.html ezinarticles.com learning from failure growthink.com/content/6-untold-reasons-why-businesses-fail hbs.edu/research/facpub/working papers/papers 2/0304/04-053.pdf internetbased-moms.com/internet-marketing/y-business-fail.html cloudave.com/link/what-did-you-learn-from-your-failures money.cnn.com/magazine/business2_archive/2007/03/01/840131 pardonthedisruption.com/2008/03/don't-fear-failure.html simoons.com/2009/01/learning-from-failure progressive-dave_exclusives_hyphen-dave_cala_hyphen_learning_from_failure.php repertoiremag.com/article.asp?id=3140 roadahead.biz/application-documents/y-businesses-fail.pdf shortwriteups.com/article/affiliate-marketing-failure-learn-y-companies fail with affiliate marketing/40389 squido.com/registering a business synergyconsultants.com bankruptcy restaurant turnaround techwag.com/index.php/2009/09/what-did-you-learn-from-your-failures theliadtree.com/y-businesses-fail.htm sideroad.com/entrepreneur/y-business-fail.html allbusiness.com/business-planning-structures/business-plan/1440-1.html biztipsblog.com/2007/05/failing_online_.html analog-rf.com/busfail.shtml webcpa.com/news/y-business-fail-51628-1.html helium.com/item/103316-8-y-businesses-fail unstructuredventures.com/uv/2008/009/23/how-to-fail-5-secrets-learned-through-failure victorhansen.com/article/hansen1124008.html Safe building websites. Safe businesses and buildings. healthandsafety.co.uk/usito.html avoiding shocks in the office. ala.org/ala/mgrps/divs/pla/pla publications/plate-ch-notes/disasterplanning.cfm Disaster planning for computers and networks. osha.gov/sltc/etools/evacuation/eap.html Emergency Action Plan. fema.gov/business/guide/index.shtm Emergency Management Guide Business and Industry. business.gov/expand/emergency-preparedness, emergency preparedness for business.